The solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is all about fresh starts and bold moves. Aries is a sign that absolutely loves action and independence. So this eclipse is like a big green light to go after what you want. But there's a little twist. Mars, the planet that rules Aries, is hanging out in Cancer, as I'm sure all of you know. Mars is usually straightforward and fierce, but in Cancer, it's more cautious and protective. So while you might feel a strong push to start something new, you'll also be thinking a lot about your emotions, family, and of course, what makes you feel safe. It's like having one foot on the gas and the other one on the brake. The key here is to balance these two energies. So be brave, but also take care of your feelings and the people that you care about. This is a good time to clear up any emotional baggage that's been slowing you down before you push forward and move ahead. So adding to the mix, we've got a beautiful sextile, which is like an opportunity between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus. So a sextile is just a fancy way of saying that these two planets are getting along and creating opportunities. Uranus is all about surprises, breakthroughs, and doing things in a different manner, especially when it comes to money, stability, and what you truly value. And with this Mars-Uranus connection, you might suddenly see brand new ways to improve your finances or home life or even overall stability. And these changes won't feel too overwhelming because it's a sextile. It's more like unexpected but welcome chances to try something new. It's an incredible time to think outside the box about these things and make small changes and adjustments that make a big impact. So maybe it's about rethinking your budget, trying a new side hustle, or perhaps even making money from home where you're more comfortable. So whatever it is, the idea here is to mix things up without throwing everything out of the window. And at the end of the day, this eclipse is really about finding balance between pushing forward with things that you want and protecting what matters. So the Aries energy wants to leap into new things, just like Aries does. But Mars in Cancer says, wait a minute, let's make sure things are safe before doing this. And this could mean dealing with old things from the past and situations that need closure before you can truly move on. It's an incredible time to set some boundaries, whether that's with family, work, or even with yourself. So being really honest about what you need emotionally can help you make smarter decisions about your next step forward. Relationships might also feel this kind of a push-pull energy. So on one hand, Aries is all about being direct and honest, and this can be great for clearing the air. But on the other hand, Mars in Cancer wants to keep things peaceful and protect the people you care about most. So this is a great time to speak your truth, but with a bit of kindness and understanding. The Uranus influence could bring up some surprises in your connections with others. So maybe an old friendship takes an exciting turn, or you suddenly get insight to what you really want or need from the people around you. So relationships that allow you to grow and feel safe will do well during this time, while others that make you feel a little bit stuck, maybe you need to rethink. So let's not forget that both Mercury and Venus are retrograde during the time of the solar eclipse in Aries. So the energy of this eclipse takes a far more reflective and introspective tone than it usually would do. So Mercury retrograde urges a review of communication, plans, and decisions, making it an incredible time to rethink how you express yourself and perhaps even revisit old conversations or ideas that need clarity. While Venus retrograde, on the other hand, pulls focus towards relationships, values, and even finances. And it encourages us a re-evaluation of what truly matters to you and how you invest your time, money, and even your emotions. So together, these retrogrades suggest that while the eclipse is all about pushing forward for bold new beginnings, it's essential to proceed with caution thoroughly. So tying up loose ends and addressing unresolved issues before charging ahead with your plans is the ideal approach to take. And overall, this eclipse is saying it's okay to do and go for what you want. Just make sure that you're also thinking about what feels right emotionally and practically. So it's all about making changes and getting brand new starts that will make you feel more secure and obviously true to yourself. So take a deep breath and clear out anything that has been holding you back and get ready to build something new and something that feels right emotionally and practically. Hi, I'm Lisa, a Western tropical astrologer, and I would love to see you here again. So if you like this kind of content and would like to see these type of things in your feed again, please press like and subscribe below, and we'll see you next time. So now for the best part, and we're going to discuss this Aries eclipse through all of the different zodiac signs. Just remember to listen for your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. While your sun is obviously your core mission in life, the moon is obviously more subjective, but your rising sign will always be the most relevant, as these is where the energies will play out in your life. So Aries, the solar eclipse is in your first house on the 29th of March, and this brings a powerful opportunity for personal transformation and for fresh starts. The first house governs your identity, how you present yourself to the world at large, and your life's direction. So with the sun and moon uniting in Aries, which is obviously an eclipse, this is a moment to boldly step forward and redefine who you are. So you may feel a sudden urge of energy to pursue your personal goals, reinvent your image, or take decisive action in perhaps a brand new direction. However, this desire for new beginnings is balanced by the influence of Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse. And being in Cancer is positioned in your fourth house of home, family, and emotional security. So Mars in Cancer is less about charging forward ahead and more about protecting what feels safe and even familiar. So this placement suggests that your actions will be motivated by a mix of courage and caution, especially when it comes to family matters or your personal home environment. So you might find yourself focused on resolving past conflicts with family matters, making improvements at home, or even establishing a stronger foundation that supports your ambitions. And this eclipse also encourages you to blend the desire for independence with the need for emotional security, and it urges you to clear out any emotional baggage that perhaps been holding you back. So there's a sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus, which is in Taurus, and this adds an interesting layer to this energy. So with Uranus in your second house of finances and values, and of course self-worth, this aspect suggests that unexpected opportunities to improve your financial situation or even rethink your values could emerge. And the sextile creates a amazing supportive flow for practical but even innovative action, such as exploring maybe new income sources, investing in your skills, or making bold financial moves that align with your long-term security. And this aspect also encourages you to embrace change, especially if it leads to greater stability and self-reliance. So the key here is to act decisively but thoroughly. So by that I mean ensuring that any risks that you take are backed by a solid plan. And this energy is about freeing yourself from old patterns and building more secure and authentic foundations for yourself in the future. And adding to this complexity of the eclipse is the fact that both Mercury and Venus are retrograde at the time of the eclipse. So Mercury is retrograde in Aries, which is your first house, and this prompts a period of perhaps introspection about how you communicate and make decisions and even assert yourself. And it's an incredible time to reconsider your goals, redefine your message, and clear up perhaps any misunderstandings that maybe have been lingering. So you might find yourself revisiting old ideas, projects that were maybe on hold, and offers you a chance to complete any unfinished business. And during this period, it's important to be mindful of perhaps how you express yourself and focus on clarity and patience rather than charging forward and acting impulsively. And Venus is retrograde in Pisces in your 12th house, which is obviously indicative of your hidden matters, your spirituality, and your subconscious. And this placement suggests that unresolved emotions past relationships, and even hidden fears may resurface during the time of the eclipse. So it offers you a chance for closure and healing since it's in your 12th house. So you may feel drawn to reflect on what you truly value in relationships and how past experiences have perhaps shaped your current expectations. So this is an amazing time for releasing old emotional patterns and forgiving yourself and even others to make peace from the past and make space for new things in the future. So together, these retrogrades of both Mercury and Venus suggest that while the solar eclipse is pushing you towards a new beginning, it's so important to resolve past matters before charging forward. And this is an amazing period for tying up loose ends, reevaluating your priorities, and ensuring that your next steps are built on a solid and emotionally secure foundation. So the influence of Mars in Cancer further emphasizes the importance of clearing out clutter before perhaps moving forward. So overall for you, Aries, this eclipse is urging you to balance bold actions with careful reflection, combining the courage to pursue new paths with wisdom gained from your past experiences. And embracing this blend of introspection and forward initiative can lay an incredible groundwork for the future that feels both authentic and most secure for yourself. So for Aries, what a personal and spiritual eclipse. This is happening in your first house of your identity and how you present yourself in the world. And of course, Venus, which is all about values, is sitting in your 12th house of the subconscious and your hidden world. So it's also a very, very spiritual time for you as well. So let me know in the below comments how it's going for you. And of course, if you like this type of content, please feel free to like and subscribe and even share on to someone that may appreciate it. For Taurus, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 12th house, which rules over your subconscious, secrets, and things that are hidden from view. This eclipse is all about fresh starts, but since it's in the 12th house, these new beginnings are more about clearing out old baggage and letting go of perhaps what's been holding you back emotionally or even mentally. You might feel a strong pull to deal with unresolved issues, hidden fears, or even habits that aren't serving you anymore. This could look like perhaps spending more time alone to reflect, diving into meditation, therapy, or even deciding to forgive someone or yourself for past mistakes. It is a powerful time for releasing things that perhaps drain your energy or mess with your peace of mind. Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is in Cancer and is hanging out in your third house of communication, learning, and local connection. So Mars in Cancer isn't exactly direct. It tends to act with a lot of emotion and even caution. This placement suggests that while you're cleaning out old emotional baggage, you might also be feeling motivated to sort out misunderstandings or have heartfelt conversations with siblings, neighbors, or even close friends. It's an incredible time to talk things out, but in a gentle and even caring way. So you might find yourself wanting to learn something new or revisit an old hobby that helps you express your emotions a lot better, such as journaling, blogging, or even a creative project. So Mars in Cancer here might also bring up memories of old messages that need to be cleaned up. So don't be surprised if past conversations or issues resurface for a final resolution. Meanwhile, we got a supportive sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is in your first house of self, appearance, and how you show up in the world at large. So Uranus here has been shaking up things for you for a while now and pushing you to perhaps embrace change and show the world who perhaps you really are. So the Mars and Uranus sextile is a chance to blend practical changes with perhaps emotional growth. So for example, you might suddenly feel the need and feel ready to speak up about something that's perhaps been bothering you, change up something with your appearance, or in a way that feels more authentic, or even take a fresh approach to how you communicate. This energy is all about making changes that are freeing, but are also safe and manageable. It's a way of finding to break out of your shell without totally freaking out. And to add some extra complexity. Both Mercury and Venus are retrograde during this specific eclipse. Mercury retrograde in Aries is also in your 12th house. So it's really doubling down on the whole clear out the past theme. So expect some deep revelations, vivid dreams, or even some secrets coming to light. So you may find yourself replaying old conversations in your head or getting clarity on situations that never really made sense anymore. And it's additionally a great time to forgive, let go, and to mentally declutter. And on the other hand, Venus retrograde in Pisces is moving through your 11th house of friendships, groups, and long-term goals. This could have you rethinking who you are spending time with and why you're spending time with them. So you might reconnect with old friends or realize that certain groups or goals just don't fit who you perhaps are anymore. And it's also an incredible time to reflect on what truly makes you want for the future and who you are wanting to be in your own personal life. And all in all, this eclipse is asking you to clear out what's not working, especially when it comes to mental and your emotional world. So you can move forward feeling lighter and more in tune with yourself. So focus on letting go of the past and having honest conversations, and of course, making small but meaningful changes. And by clearing out the emotional and mental clutter that you have, you'll be setting yourself up for so much more of a brighter and more authentic chapter that lies ahead for you. For Taurus, what a personal and very spiritual eclipse this is for you. It's happening in your 12th house, which is, of course, a very, very spiritual house. The first house connected with Uranus, and of course, your 11th house, which is all about your social connections and, of course, your creative vision for the future. So let me know below how it's going for you. And of course, if you like this type of video, please feel free to like, subscribe, or even share on to someone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Gemini, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 11th house, which is all about friendship, groups, and your hopes and dreams for the future. So this eclipse is bringing a fresh start to your social life and your long-term goals. So you may find yourself wanting to join new communities, reconnect with old friends, or even completely change your vision for the future. It's also an incredible time to think about the kind of people that you want around you and the goals that might really light you up. So maybe you've outgrown certain friendships, or that you're realizing that some of your dreams need a little bit of updating. So this eclipse is all about making connections that inspire you and focusing your goals on what feel true to who you are now and, of course, who you want to become. So Mars, which rules over this eclipse, is hanging out in Cancer in your second house of money, values, and self-worth. So Mars in Cancer isn't the boldest placement. It's more about protecting what you care about and making decisions based on feelings. And in your second house, this could mean that you are extra focused on your finances and how security looks and feels to you. So you might be thinking about new ways to earn money or deciding to save on what feels safer and what you're more in control with. And this placement also brings up questions about what you really value, both in terms of money and, of course, your personal life. So for example, you might find yourself spending less time on stuff that doesn't really matter and investing more in things that support your long-term goals or making you feel more secure. It's a great time to look at your budget, rethink your spending habits, or even start perhaps a side hustle that aligns with your true values. So adding to this mix, we have a helpful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is in your 12th house of secrets, spiritualities, and perhaps things going on behind the scenes. So Uranus in the 12th house is kind of like having a sudden light bulb moment about your own patterns and fears and stuff that you don't always see clearly. And this sextile creates a smooth path for breaking out of old habits or beliefs that you've been keeping, that have perhaps been keeping you stuck, especially around money or self-worth. So for example, you may suddenly realize why you've been holding back from making certain financial moves, or feel inspired to drop an old fear that perhaps been messing with your confidence. And this aspect is like a gentle but effective push to clear out anything that's been blocking your way forward, especially when it comes to your financial and emotional security. And of course, to make things more interesting, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde during this eclipse. So Mercury retrograde in Aries is happening in your 11th house, and it's the same spot as the eclipse. So this means that it's not just about new beginnings with friends and goals. It's also a chance to rethink and review your social life and your long-term plans. Perhaps you may find yourself re-evaluating your current friendships and even the groups that you belong to. So it's an amazing time to sort out misunderstandings, tie up loose ends, or just figure out which connections are really worth keeping in the long run. And Venus retrograde in Pisces is in your 10th house of career and public image. And this could have you rethinking your career path, your reputation, or even how you want to be seen in the world at large. So maybe you've been realizing that certain career goals just don't fit anymore, or that you perhaps need to adjust your approach to get where you want to go in life. And it's also a great time to rebuild bridges at work, perhaps even reach out to old contacts that might help you move forward in the future. So all in all, this eclipse is about clearing out what's not working in your social life, your finances, and even in your career, so you can focus on what truly matters going forward in your life. And this is a powerful moment to redefine your personal goals and find the kind of support system that you need to perhaps get there. So by letting go of what no longer serves you, you make space for new connections, goals, and habits that truly align with who you are right now. So for Gemini, what a powerful eclipse. This is affecting your long-term goals and your career. So let me know below how it's going for you. And of course, if you like these type of videos and would like to see more of this in your feed going forward, please feel free to like, subscribe, or even share on with someone that may appreciate it. Cheers for now. So for Cancer, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 10th house of career, public image, and long-term goals. So this eclipse is all about fresh starts in how the world sees you and your professional path, and of course the goals that you are aiming for towards in your future. So you might feel a strong urge to step up at work, take a leadership role, or even completely switch careers if what you're doing doesn't feel right to you anymore. It's an incredible time to rethink your reputation and how you want to be known to the world at large. So for example, you may update your online profiles or start a project that showcases your skills. Have an important conversation with your boss or superior about where perhaps you're headed. So the main idea here is to get clear about what success really means to you and take the first step to build a career or life path that feels really authentic and truly real to yourself. So Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is in Cancer, which means it's in your first house of self, appearance, and how you approach life. This is a big deal because the first house is all about how you assert yourself and make things happen. So Mars in Cancer isn't as bold or direct as perhaps it usually is. It acts more cautionary and with a lot of emotion. So this could mean that while you've been feeling motivated to push forward in your career, you've also been thinking a lot how these moves will affect your long-term emotional well-being. So for example, you may find yourself setting boundaries at work to protect your energy, or deciding that any new career path you choose has to really align with what feels emotionally safe and fulfilling to you. It's a great time to stand up for yourself, but to do it in a way that feels caring and also true to who perhaps you are. There's also a beautiful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which lights up your 11th house of friendship, groups, and even your future goals. So Uranus in the 11th house is all about shaking things up socially and helping you find your tribe, and the people that truly get you. And the Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to connect with new groups or even friends that align with your evolving goals, or maybe that take on a leadership role in a community or online group. So you might get a sudden invitation to join a new project or find that someone that you connect with that casually turns out to be a key ally in your career going forward. So this aspect also suggests that stepping outside your usual circles and trying something different can also lead to exciting and unexpected opportunities. And it's an incredible time to network, collaborate, and explore new ideas with others that will support your future goals going forward. And while this is all going on, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, adding a little bit of reflective energy to this eclipse. Mercury retrograde in Aries is also in your 10th house of career, making it a great time to rethink your goals and think about how you communicate yourself at work. So you might find yourself revisiting old projects, going back to earlier career ideas, perhaps even sorting out misunderstanding with bosses or colleagues. It's not the best time to sign new contracts or even launch something big, but it's a perfect time for reviewing and tweaking your path, which will help you go forward in the future. And this retrograde energy is basically saying, take time to review the details and make sure that your career path truly fits who you are now before making any bold moves going forward in the future. Meanwhile, Venus is retrograde in Pisces, and this is in your 9th house of beliefs and higher learning and travel. So this might have you rethink your bigger picture beliefs about your life or even reconsider plans for studying or traveling going forward. So you could perhaps feel drawn to revisit a spiritual practice or pick up an old course or even reconnect with a mentor that helped you shape your views. And it's also a great time to reflect on what truly brings you value in life, both in terms of relationships and your personal growth. So, for example, you might decide to let go of a belief that no longer resonates with you, or realize that you want to focus on more experiences that perhaps broaden your horizons going forward. So, all in all, this eclipse is pushing you to clear out what's no longer working in your career, your social circles, and even your belief systems. So you can focus on what truly matters for you going forward in the future. It's a powerful moment to redefine your success on your terms and to make sure that your professional and your personal paths align with your true self. So by clearing out what no longer serves you, you're making space for a future that feels both emotionally and professionally fulfilling. So for Cancer, what a personal eclipse this is going to be, both in your 10th house of your career, which is so important, and of course, your more private house, which is your 9th house, which affects your spirituality and the way that you look at the world going forward. So let me know in below comments how it's going for you. And of course, if you see value in these videos or would like to see me in your feed going forward, please feel free to like, subscribe, or even share on to someone that may appreciate this. See you next time. So for Leo, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 9th house, which is all about your beliefs, higher learning, travel, and anything that helps you see the bigger picture of life. This eclipse is all about fresh starts in how you view the world and what you personally believe in. So you may suddenly feel inspired to go back to school, take that course that broadens your mind, or even plan a trip that gets you out of your usual surroundings. It could also be about adopting a new philosophy or belief system that feels more in line with who you are right now. And if you've been feeling stuck in a certain mindset or feeling limited by your current worldview, this specific eclipse is like a nudge from the universe to explore new perspectives and to open up your mind to new possibilities. So Mars, which rules this eclipse, is in Cancer and is hanging out in your 12th house of secrets, spirituality, and even letting go. So Mars in Cancer isn't the boldest placement. It's more about protecting what's behind the scenes and acting with a lot of emotion. In your 12th house, this could show up as a strong urge to face old fears, release grudges, or deal with anything that's been weighing on you emotionally. So you might also feel like retreating, a bit of time to reflect, or spending more time alone to figure out what you really want. And this is an amazing time to do some inner work like meditating, journaling, or even just clearing out physical clutter that perhaps feels heavy. It's also possible that something hidden could come to light now and help you understand why you've been feeling so blocked or stuck in certain areas of your life. But the main idea here is to clear out any old baggage and to make room for new beliefs and perspectives. This eclipse is bringing in brand new ideas and even new thought patterns that could help you move forward. And there's also a supportive sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 10th house of career and public image, and of course your long-term goals. So Uranus in your 10th house here has probably been already stirring up things in your career and pushing you to break free from boring routines and try something new and different for a long time. And this Mars-Uranus sextile is creating new opportunities to blend your behind-the-scenes work with your practical changes for your career. So, for example, you might suddenly get the urge to pursue a job that aligns with your values or make a bold move at work that helps you stand out. And you can also find yourself wanting to break away from a career path that feels too limiting, or perhaps take a chance on a new project that lets you use your skills in a brand new and fresh way. This energy is all about making changes that feel both freeing and secure, helping you build a career that truly suits and feels who you are. And at the same time in this eclipse, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, which adds a little bit of reflective and slow down vibe to all of this. Mercury retrograde in Aries is also in your 9th house, so it's a good time to review and rethink your belief and travel plans or anything related to your learning. So you might find yourself wanting to perhaps go back on to a course that you didn't finish, or reconnect with an old mentor, or rethink plans for a trip or even a move abroad. It's not the best time to make big announcements or to even sign contracts, but it's a perfect time for tying up those loose ends and getting clear about what you truly believe. And on the other hand, Venus retrograde in Pisces is hanging out in your 8th house of shared resources and intimacy and transformation. And this could have you rethink your financial arrangements with a partner, deal with any old debts, or even reflect on a deeper and emotional issue. So you might find yourself having a strong pull to revisit past relationships, clear up issues related to trust or even intimacy. It's a great time to figure out what you really truly need to feel safe and supported, both emotionally and financially. So all in all, this eclipse is about clearing out what's no longer working for you in your beliefs, your inner world, and even your career, so you can focus on what truly matters to you. It's a powerful moment to redefine what success and fulfillment looks like to you. So by letting go of what's been holding you back, you're making space for a future that feels both meaningful and true to who you are now and who you want to be going forward. So for Leo, what a personal and very spiritual eclipse is for you, because it's happening in your 9th house and of course affecting your 8th house as well. So these are very spiritual houses. So let me know in the below comment how it's going for you. And of course, if you like this, feel free to like or subscribe or share on to anyone that may appreciate it. Till next time. Virgo, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 8th house, which is all about shared finances, intimacy, deep transformation, and even letting go. This eclipse is bringing a fresh start when it comes to how you handle things like joint money, debts, and even your deepest fears. So you may feel a strong push to sort things out in shared financial matters, like taking control of debt, financing, or even having important money talks with a significant other. And on a much deeper level, this eclipse is encouraging you to face what you've been avoiding emotionally and perhaps release old patterns or fears that have been holding you back. And this could mean opening up more with a partner, dealing with trust issues, or even diving into things like therapy, meditation, or anything that helps you process past baggage. So the main idea here is about clearing out the old to make room for something more meaningful and more authentic to yourself. So Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is in Cancer, and it's hanging out in your 11th house of friendship, groups, and goals. So Mars in Cancer isn't about being direct or aggressive as it could usually be. It's about acting more cautiously and with a lot of emotion. And in your 11th house, this could mean that you're feeling an extra protective edge to your friendships or a bit more careful about who you trust. So you may feel motivated to cut ties with people who drain your energy or finally stand up for yourself in a group setting. And it's also an incredible time to think about your long-term goals and whether the people that you're hanging out with really support these dreams going forward. So for example, you might find yourself wanting to join a new group that feels more in line with your personal values or start a project that benefits a cause you really care about. And there's also a gorgeous sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 9th house of beliefs, higher learning, and travel. And obviously anything that helps you see the bigger picture at large. So Uranus in your 9th house has probably been pushing you to rethink what you really believe in and break away from old ways of traditional thinking for a while now. The Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to connect with people who share your evolving beliefs or to take bold moves and steps towards your long-term goals. So, for example, you might suddenly decide to sign up for a new course, plan a new trip that's a bit outside your comfort zone, or even get involved with a group that challenges your usual way of thinking. And this aspect is all about blending practical action with a bit of adventure, and it helps you to step outside your comfort zone without feeling completely overwhelmed. And at the same time, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde at the time of this eclipse, which is adding a little bit of a reflective vibe to this eclipse. So Mercury is retrograde in Aries, is also in your 8th house. So it's a very good time to review and rethink all your shared debts, finances, and your emotional bonds. So old financial matters may come around for you to deal with, or you may find yourself wanting to revisit past conversations about trust or intimacy or even joint finances. So it's not time or even the best time to sign new financial agreements or make big money moves, but it's a perfect time for tying up those loose ends and getting clear about what you really want moving forward. And Venus retrograde in Pisces, it's in your 7th house of partnerships, making it an excellent time to rethink relationships, both romantic and in business. So you might find yourself reconnecting with old partners or having deep conversations about where things are perhaps headed with you with your current relationships. And it's also an incredible time to sort out any lingering relationship issues and perhaps to figure out what you truly value in a partner. So overall, this eclipse is about clearing out what no longer works for you in your current shared finances, friendship beliefs, and even your closest relationships. It's a powerful moment for you to redefine what you really want, both in terms of money and emotional connections. And obviously to build a future that feels more secure and authentic to you. So by letting go of what's been holding you back, you're now making space for new connections, new goals, and a new way of thinking that feels true to who you really are now and who you want to be going forward. Virgo, what a deep eclipse this is. The 8th house is all about those hidden matters that no one even talks about. And of course, this eclipse is also affecting your 7th house, which is so important. It's all about your relationships. So let me know in the below comment how it's going for you. And of course, if you like the type of content, I would love to see you again. So please feel free to like and subscribe and perhaps share on with anyone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Libra, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and one-on-one connections. This eclipse is all about fresh starts when it comes to how you connect with others, both in love and in business. So you might feel a strong push to take up a current relationship or to even take a relationship to a next level, or start a new partnership or even end something that isn't working anymore. And if you're single, this could be just the spark that gets you thinking about the kind of partner that you really want, or even bring someone new into your life. In business, this energy might inspire you to sign a new contract, collaborate with someone who shares your same vision, or walk away from deals that don't feel right to you and your soul. The main theme here is about redefining your relationship in a way that feels more balanced and true to you. Mars, the ruler of this eclipse, is in Cancer and is hanging out in your 10th house of career, public image, and long-term goals. So Mars in Cancer isn't as straightforward as it usually is in Cancer, and it's more about acting cautiously and with even a lot of emotion. So in your 10th house, this could show up as a strong desire to protect your reputation at work or to make moves that feel emotionally secure. So you might find yourself stepping up into a career, but doing it in a way that feels safe, like perhaps making sure that you've got a solid plan before going for that promotion or even a job change. And it's also a great time to think about what success really means to you and whether your current path is in line with perhaps your values. So, for example, you might realize that your career move that you've been considering doesn't actually feel right for you on an emotional level. Or perhaps you could decide to take on a leadership role that lets you help and support others in an emotional way at work. There's also a beautiful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, and deep transformation. So Uranus in your 8th house has probably been already pushing you to rethink how you handle shared resources, money, debt, and even your deeper emotional values. And this Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to make practical but bold changes in these specific areas. So, for example, you might suddenly decide to consolidate debts or make a big investment, or even to have a real and honest conversation about money with your partner. And on a deeper level, this energy might inspire you to open up more about your feelings, or just perhaps release old fears around intimacy and even trust. It's an incredible time to take those practical steps that help you feel more secure, both financially and emotionally. And at the same time, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, which is adding a little bit of reflective flavor to this eclipse. Mars retrograde is in Aries, and it's also in your 7th house of relationships, making it a beautiful time to rethink and review your partnerships. So you might find old partners popping back into your life, or feel the need to have some honest heart-to-heart talks about where things are perhaps headed in the future. So it's not the best time to make big relationship decisions or sign contracts, but it's the perfect time for sorting out misunderstandings and perhaps figuring out what you really want in a partner. On the other hand, Venus retrograde in Pisces is hanging out in your 6th house of health, work, and daily routines. So this retrograde could have you thinking about how to handle your day-to-day life, your job, or even your health habits. So you might feel inspired to revisit an old project, switching up your routines, or perhaps reconnecting with a co-worker you haven't spoken to in a while. It's also an incredible time to reflect on how well your current job routine supports your well-being and what changes may make things flow a little bit easier. So overall, this eclipse is about clearing out what's not working in your relationships, career, finances, and even your daily life. It's a powerful moment to redefine and balance what life looks like for you, both in love and work, and of course to build those connections and routines that really support your life in a way that you want. So by letting go of old patterns and focusing on what feels fair and true to you, you're making space for new opportunities that align with your values and help you move forward with confidence. So for Libra, what a personal eclipse this is going to be. So let me know in the below comment how it's going for you. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, I would love to see you again. So please feel free to like and share and even subscribe to help make the channel grow. See you soon. So for Scorpio, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 6th house, which rules over work, health, daily routines, and how you handle your daily responsibilities. This eclipse is all about fresh starts in these areas, pushing you to rethink your habits and how you manage your time and energy. So you may feel inspired to start a new fitness routine, make changes at work, or perhaps even organize your daily schedule in a way that feels more productive and less stressful. It's an incredible time to quit bad habits that drain you, like late night scrolling or eating on the go, and replace them with routines that actually make you feel good and more aligned. And at work, you might decide to take on a new project, look for a different job, or just streamline how you get things done. So this eclipse is really about creating a healthier and more efficient way of living that helps you feel more in control of your day-to-day life and your everyday life going forward. So Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is hanging out in Cancer in your 9th house, which deals with your beliefs, travel, higher learning, and absolutely anything that expands your mind. So Mars in Cancer isn't the most straightforward in this placement, and it acts more cautiously and emotionally. So in your 9th house, this could show up as a strong desire to perhaps defend your beliefs or to learn something that helps you feel more secure in what perhaps you know. So you may find yourself inspired to dive into studying something more spiritual, cultural, or even going back to school for something that feels more meaningful. So travel may be on your mind, but places that feel more familiar or perhaps even tied to your roots. And on a deeper level, Mars in Cancer here could be pushing you to let go of an old belief that no longer feels true, or even have conversations with people that make you see things a little bit differently. And there's also an incredible sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So Uranus in your 7th house has probably been shaking things up in your relationship for quite a while now. And with that, it brings surprises, breakups, breakthroughs, or just making you crave more freedom and authenticity in how you connect with others. And the Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to perhaps blend emotional growth with practical changes in your partnerships. So, for example, you might suddenly feel ready to have a heart-to-heart discussion with someone about where things are going, and maybe even about setting boundaries with the partner in a way that feels both firm and caring at the same time. And if you're single, this could bring a chance of meeting someone who perhaps challenges your usual type in a good way. And in business, this could show up as collaborating with someone new or reworking a partnership to feel more balanced and fair. And on top of that, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde at the time of this eclipse, adding a reflective vibe to absolutely everything. So Mercury is retrograde in Aries, which is also your 6th house of work and health, making it an incredible time to review your daily routines and sort out any messes at work. So old tasks may pop back up for you to finish, or you might find yourself rethinking your approach to work-life balance. So it's not the best time to start something brand new, but it's the perfect time for revising and fine-tuning those things perhaps that you've already got on your plate. And Venus retrograde in Pisces is in your 5th house of romance, creativity, and fun, making it an incredible time to rethink your love life and what really makes you happy. So you may find yourself reconnecting with an old flame, or perhaps picking up a creative hobby that perhaps you used to love. It's also a good time to figure out what you truly enjoy and what you've been doing just to please others. So overall, this eclipse is about clearing out what no longer is working in your routines, beliefs, relationships, and even how you spend your free time. And it's a powerful moment to redefine what makes you feel healthy, balanced, and obviously true to yourself, both in work and in your personal life. So by letting go of old habits and focusing on what truly matters, you're making space for a lifestyle that feels both fulfilling and authentic. So for Scorpio, what personal eclipse? And it also involves other people and your relationships in your life. So let me know in the below comments how it's going for you. And of course, if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe and even share on to someone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Sagittarius, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your 5th house, which is all about creativity, romance, hobbies, and self-expression. This eclipse brings a fresh start to how you share your passions with the world and what makes you truly happy. So you might feel a sudden urge to dive into a new creative project, take up a hobby you've always wanted to try, or even start a new romance that feels exciting and even a little bit bold. And if you're already in a relationship, this could spark a new phase of fun and spontaneity. It's also a great time to focus on self-expression, whether that means sharing your art, starting a blog, or just being more open about who you truly are. And the main theme here is about finding joy and embracing what makes you feel truly alive without holding back. So Mars, the ruler of this eclipse, is hanging out in Cancer in your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, and deep transformation. So Mars in Cancer isn't the most direct placement. It's more about acting cautiously and with a lot of emotion. And in your 8th house, this could show up as a strong desire to sort out shared financial matters like debts, taxes, or even investments. So you might feel inspired to have an honest talk with a partner about money, trust, or what you both want for the future. On a deeper level, Mars here is pushing you to face fears around your intimacy and to let go of any emotional baggage that perhaps has been weighing you down. And this might mean opening up more in your relationship or even diving into some inner work like therapy, journaling, to release old patterns and make yourself feel better on a deep level. The main idea is to clear out what's no longer serving you, emotionally or financially, so that you can move forward with a clean slate. And there's also a very, very helpful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 6th house of work, health, and your daily routines. So Uranus in your 6th house has probably been shaking things up for quite some time, making you rethink your job, your habits, how you manage your time, and even your fitness regimes. The Mars-Taurus sextile is creating opportunities for practical but freeing changes in all of these areas. So if, for example, you might suddenly decide to switch up your routine or adopt healthier habits or even consider a new way of working that perhaps gives you more freedom. So this energy is all about blending practical steps with a bit of excitement, like finding a new workout routine that actually feels fun or reorganizing your workday in a way that leaves more room for what you love. And it's an incredible time to let go of rigid routines and experiment with what makes you feel energized and even more productive. And at the same time, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde at the time of this eclipse. And this adds a more reflective vibe to everything. So Mercury retrograde in Aries is also in your 5th house of creativity and romance. And this makes it a great time to rethink old projects and perhaps reconnect with past loves, or just to get clear on what you really enjoy. So you may find yourself finishing up creative project that you started a while back, or having an overdue heart-to-heart talk about where things are going with a special someone in a relationship. So it's not the best time to start something brand new, but it's a perfect time for revisiting and redefining what you are ready to move on with. Meanwhile, Venus retrograde in Pisces is in your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundations. And this could have you rethinking how you connect with your family, redecorating, or even considering a move that feels more emotionally secure. It's also an incredible time to reflect on what home really means to you and let go of any family matters that don't fit in who you really are now or who you want to be in the future. So overall, this eclipse is about clearing out what's no longer working in your creativity, finances, routines, and even your home life. It's a powerful moment to redefine what makes you truly happy and how you can express that joy in a way that feels true to you. And by letting go of old habits and focusing on what truly lights you up, you make space for a life that feels more fulfilling and authentic to you going forward. So for Sagittarius, what a personal eclipse this is for you. So let me know in the below comments how is it going for you. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, or even share on to someone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Capricorn, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. This eclipse is bringing a fresh start to your living situation, your relationship with family, or even how you feel about your deep roots and sense of security. So you may suddenly feel inspired to move, redecorate, or to make changes that make your home feel like a sanctuary. On a deeper level, this also means dealing with past family issues that perhaps you've been avoiding or finding new ways to feel safe and at peace emotionally. It's an amazing time to rethink about what home really means to you and clear out anything that doesn't support that vision. So whether that's clutter, old memories, or even people who disrupt your peace. Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is in Cancer and is hanging out in your seventh house of relationship and partnerships. So Mars in Cancer isn't as bold as usual in this placement. It tends to act cautiously and with a lot of emotion. And in your seventh house, it could show up as a strong desire to protect your relationship or to finally speak about things that have been bothering you for a while. So you might feel pushed to resolve old conflicts that you have with a partner, have some honest conversations, or even rethink your boundaries in relationship. And on the flip side, if a partnership has been causing you more stress than support, this energy could help you find the courage to even walk away from the relationship. And this is an amazing time to focus on building connection that feels safe and supportive, rather than ones that leave you feeling absolutely drained and sapped of your energy. And there's also a beautiful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your fifth house of creativity, romance, and expression. So Uranus in your fifth house has probably been already shaking things up for a while and making you crave more excitement and authenticity in your love life and perhaps hobbies. And the Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to blend emotional honesty with practical changes in these specific areas. So for example, you might suddenly feel inspired to pursue a creative project that's been on your mind for a while, or try out a new approach in your love life that feels more true to who you personally are. And this energy is all about freeing yourself up from old patterns and embracing what really lights you up, whether that's a new hobby, a fresh romance, or just finding time to spend doing what you personally love. It's a perfect time to experiment a little and see what feels right without making any huge commitments yet. And at the same time, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, which is adding a little of reflective vibe to absolutely everything. So Mercury retrograde is in Aries and it's also in your fourth house of home and family, making it a great time to revisit old family matters, sort out misunderstandings, or perhaps rethink plans for your own personal living situation. So you might find yourself dealing with repairs around the house, reconnecting with old relatives, or just feeling extra nostalgic about the past. It's not the best time to sign a lease or buy a property, but it's the perfect time for decluttering and tying up those loose ends at home. And Venus is retrograding in Pisces in your third house of communication, siblings, and daily interaction. And this could have you rethinking how you communicate with those closest to you, like siblings or neighbors or even your co-workers. You might find yourself going back to an old writing project, reconnecting with people you haven't talked to in a while, or perhaps just sorting out any lingering misunderstandings. And it's also an incredible time to think about how you speak your mind and whether your words truly match how you truly feel. So overall, this eclipse is about clearing out what's no longer working at home, in your relationships, and even in how you express yourself. It's a powerful eclipse to redefine what security and happiness looks like for you, both in your personal space and in your closest connections. And by letting go of old habits and grudges or anything that feels heavy, you make space for a life that feels more supportive, honest, and true to who you really are and how you want to carry yourself forward. So for Capricorn, this is a deeply personal eclipse for you because it's really touching on these areas that have got to do with what you love and, of course, with your home life as well. So let me know in the below comment how it's feeling and going for you. And of course, if you like these type of videos, I would absolutely love to see you here again. So please feel free to subscribe or like or even share on to someone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Aquarius, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your third house of communication, learning, and local connection. This eclipse is bringing a fresh start to how you express yourself, your daily interactions, and even how you learn and share information. So you might suddenly feel inspired to start a blog or take a short course, or even to get more active in your local community. On a more practical level, you might feel like upgrading your tech, like getting a new cell phone or laptop just to make life easier. This eclipse is all about finding new and innovative ways to communicate and feel honest and true to yourself without overcomplicating things. So Mars, which is the ruler of this eclipse, is hanging out in Cancer in your 6th house, which governs work, health, and daily routines. So Mars in Cancer isn't direct as usual, and it tends to act a little bit cautiously with a lot of emotion. And in your 6th house, this could show up as a strong urge to sort out your work-life balance or to make changes that support your well-being. So you might feel inspired to clean up your diet, start a new exercise regime, or even to clear the clutter in your workspace to help you focus a little bit better. It's also a beautiful time to look at how much stress you're carrying on a day-to-day level and figure out practical ways to lighten the load. And at work, you might find yourself stepping in to help a coworker or take on tasks that feel more meaningful and less draining. So the main idea here is to create a routine that feels supportive rather than exhausting you. There's also a helpful sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 4th house of home, family, and emotional security. So Uranus in your 4th house has probably been pushing you to shake up things at home, whether that means moving, redecorating, or even redefining what home really means to you. So the Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to blend emotional security with even practical changes. So for example, you may suddenly feel inspired to rearrange your living space to make it cozier or to have real conversation with family members about boundaries and what you need to feel at peace. No, man. On a deeper level, this energy is about freeing up yourself from old family patterns that don't fit in. It's a good time to let go of traditions or routines that feel heavy and replace them with one that supports your growth and even your independence. At the same time, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, which is adding a little bit of reflective flavor to absolutely everything. Mercury is retrograde in Aries and is also in your 3rd house of communication, making it an amazing time to rethink how you get your point across and clear up any misunderstandings that have been lingering or just hanging around. So you might find yourself dealing with old emails, texts, or even running into people that you haven't even seen for a while. It's not the best time to sign contracts or to launch any big communication project, but it's the perfect time for reviewing and tweaking things. So Venus is retrograde in Pisces in your 2nd house of money and values and, of course, self-worth. And this could have you rethinking your finances, like reviewing your budget, cutting out any impulsive buys, or even dealing with old money issues that perhaps just pop back up. And on a deeper level, Venus retrograde here is about figuring out what you truly hold value to you and whether your spending habits perhaps match that. So you might realize that you've been investing time or money in things that don't actually make you happy. And you may decide to shift your focus to what truly makes you happy going forward. So overall, this eclipse is about tearing out what's not working in your communication, daily habits, routines, and your life, and even your money. It's a powerful moment to redefine what stability and security look like to you, both in your relationships and on your day-to-day life. So by letting go of patterns and focusing on what feels right now, you're making space for life that is simpler, honest, and a way to be in line with who you are truly becoming. So for Aquarius, I'm one of you and I am actually feeling this energy strongly. So let me know in the below comments how it's playing out for you. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe and perhaps share on with anyone that may appreciate it. Till next time. So for Pisces, the solar eclipse in Aries on the 29th of March is lighting up your second house of money, values, and self-worth. This eclipse is bringing a fresh start to how you earn, spend, and save your money, as well as how you value yourself. So you might feel inspired to create a new budget, explore a side hustle, or even ask for a raise if you've been feeling undervalued at work. It's also an incredible time to rethink what you've been investing in, both financially and emotionally, and make sure that it aligns to what truly matters to you. On a deeper level, this eclipse is encouraging you to boost your confidence and recognize your own self-worth. So you might find yourself letting go of self-doubt and replacing it with a stronger belief in what you truly deserve. The main theme here is about building a solid foundation for your finances and self-esteem, so you can feel more secure in moving forward in the future. So Mars, the ruler of this eclipse, is hanging out in Cancer in your 5th house of creativity, romance, and self-expression. Mars in Cancer isn't as bold as usual, as it's more about protecting what matters to you and acting cautiously. In the 5th house, this could show up as a strong desire to express yourself creatively or to protect your heart in love. So you might feel inspired to start a passion project, spend more time at home or on a hobby or even what you love, or take a risk romantically if it feels safe. On the flip side, if you've been holding back on your creativity or your love life out of fear, this energy could help you find the courage to open up more. It's also an incredible time to reconnect with what brings you joy, whether that's painting, dancing, writing, or spending time with children or even loved ones. The main idea here is to make room for what makes your heart happy without rushing or forcing anything. There's also a very supportive sextile between Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus, which is lighting up your 3rd house of communication, learning, and local connections. So Uranus in your 3rd house has probably been shaking things up and making you rethink of how you communicate and connect with others. And the Mars-Uranus sextile is creating opportunities to blend emotional honesty with practical changes in how you share your ideas. So for example, you might suddenly feel inspired to start a blog, podcast, or even a YouTube channel that lets you speak your truth. You could also decide to make a short course or to sharpen your skills or to get more involved in your local community. On a more personal level, this energy might help you find the right word to clear the air on important conversations, especially with siblings, neighbors, or even co-workers. It's a great time to speak from the heart, but do it in a way that is grounded and practical. Meanwhile, both Mercury and Venus are retrograde during this eclipse, adding a little bit of reflective vibe to absolutely everything. Mercury retrograde in Aries is also in your 2nd house of money and values, making it an amazing time to rethink your budget, review your finances, and to sort out any money matters that may have been hanging around. So old financial issues may pop back up, or you may find yourself going back and forth about a big purchase. It's not the time to sign contracts or to make impulsive money moves, but it's a perfect time for reviewing and reworking your financial plans. And Venus retrograde in Pisces in your 1st house of self, appearance, and how you present yourself to the world at large. So you could be rethinking your style, your self-image, or even how you come across in relationships. You may feel inspired to update your wardrobe, change your hairstyle, or just focus on more self-love or self-care. It's also a great time to reflect on what you truly want in love and whether you've been settling for less than you maybe deserve. So all in all, this eclipse is about clearing out what's not working in your finances, self-worth, creativity, and even how you present yourself to the world. It's a powerful eclipse to redefine what really matters to you, both in terms of money and in terms of what brings you true happiness and joy. So by letting go of old patterns and focusing on what feels right now, you're making space for a life that feels fulfilling, secure, and true to what you want and what you want to become. So for Pisces, this is such a personal eclipse for you. It touches on your first house of you, and of course your second house of your values and your finances, and of course your third house of your siblings and your neighborhood. So it is a very, very personal eclipse. So let me know below how things are going for you and how you're feeling about this. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and even share on to someone that may appreciate it. Till next time.